Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be previewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers preseason Week 1 matchup versus the Miami Dolphins. I already said this in the previous video, but I'm going to reiterate this point in this video. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers football is back in some way, shape, or form. It is very exciting times because we are back with yet again another season of Buccaneers football, and that is always an exciting thing. By the way, I do have a live stream reacting to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers preseason Week 1 matchup versus the Miami Dolphins that will be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you check that out and stay tuned in for that. But in this video today, I want to talk about some storylines that are going on heading into this first preseason Week 1 matchup, and let's start with one of the biggest storylines that's going to be on a lot of people's minds for good or for bad, and that is the question, is Kyle Trask really that guy? And by that guy, I mean the potential franchise quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the post-Tom Brady era. And I will say this, I think Kyle Trask has gotten a little bit of a bad rap throughout this training camp. I don't think he has been as horrifically terrible as some people have made it out to be. I think that Kyle Trask has had a couple of bad practices here or there, but I will also say that Kyle Trask has shown a decent amount of improvement from year number 1 going into now year number 2. But I will agree when some people say that this is going to be a big preseason for Kyle Trask, and it's because, yeah, the Buccaneers are going to have a lot of eyes on him, not just in the fan base, but also in the organization as well, as to whether or not Kyle Trask has shown enough improvement for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to have confidence that he could at least possibly be that guy moving forward at the quarterback position after Tom Brady is done. And yeah, he's going to have a decent group of playmakers around him in this first preseason game. Wouldn't surprise me at all if some of the starters are even with Kyle Trask at some point here in this first preseason game. Let's pay attention to how Trask does, because man oh man, there have been a lot of strong opinions so far about Trask, and he definitely needs to have a good preseason game moving forward to, you know, kind of quiet some of those doubters, but also build some positive momentum for himself as well. The next storyline that I want to talk about going into this upcoming game is that, man, folks, roster battles are heating up so far up to this point. The wide receiver battle has been crazy on the back end. You have so many guys competing. I'm not going to say all their names right now, but I'm going to say some of them. Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, Brashad Perriman, Cyril Grayson, Jarrett Stearns, Devin Tompkins, Cameron Brown, Vincent Smith, Kalen Geiger. I think that's all 9 guys who are battling for 2 rosters. Jalen Darden, 10 guys who are battling for 2 roster spots. I may have even forgotten a guy or two in that list, folks. So yeah, needless to say, that wide receiver battle has been absolutely insane. Let's see. Cameron Brown, by the way, if I forgot to mention Cameron Brown. But again, point being, yeah, that's a crazy battle that is going to get a lot of guys playing time in this first preseason game. Let's see who separates themselves from the pack, like I talked about in my previous video. The left guard battle between Aaron Stinney at the starting spot, Luke Gedeke, and Nick Leverett, who's been building a lot of positive momentum for himself. Who is going to be winning that battle? Robert Hainsey is the starting center right now. That's freaking nuts. You also have the tight end position, Cameron Brate, Kyle Rudolph, not Cody McElroy, Cade Otton is also battling in that spot as well for playing time. That's just on the offensive side, folks. That's not including battles at the defensive line position with guys like Logan Hall versus some established veterans, the outside linebacker position, Aaron Stinney, Cam Gill, some of these other guys who have been battling for some spots, the cornerback position with, you know, guys like Zion McCollum and some of these other established veterans like Dee Delaney battling it out. The safety position, Ross Cockrell is apparently part safety now, part cornerback. What's going on with that? You have Logan Ryan, you have Keanu Neal, Mike Edwards, Nolan Turner has been making some plays, the undrafted rookie out of Clemson, the kicking battle, Jose Borregales versus Ryan Suckup. There's so much stuff going on in some of these position battles, folks. That is going to be one of the main things to look out for in this game, is which guys are going to separate themselves from the pack and really build some positive momentum for themselves in those roster battles. By the way, Rashad White, Keyshawn Vaughn, and Giovanni Bernard. Again, there's a lot of position battles, folks. It's really tough to keep track of. The next storyline I want to pay attention to is going to be get to watch the rookies play and debut. I've already talked about this a little bit. Logan Hall, Luke Gedeke, Zion McCollum, Rashad White, Cade Otton, Ko Kieft. A lot of people forget about Ko Kieft, by the way. Jake Camarda. These are all guys who are going to be getting a healthy. Andre Anthony, by the way, rookie outside pass rushing linebacker from LSU. There are a lot of guys who are going to be making their debuts and trying to build some momentum for themselves from this most recent draft class. That's going to be an exciting thing to see. I'm rooting for a good amount of those rookies. I really hope they get a decent amount of playing time in this game and are able to showcase some of their abilities. I already talked about the kicking battle, but I want to talk about it again. It is a really, really close battle, folks. Ryan Suckup and Jose Borregales have been going toe-to-toe like it is nobody's business. And folks, if this continues at this pace of Suckup and Borregales continuing to just not miss any of their kicks, I imagine this scenario would probably end in a situation where the Buccaneers keep Ryan Suckup and probably trade Jose Borregales. And I know that sounds crazy, right? And I think I even brought up that idea last year, but with more established time now, Jose Borregales, if he does good in these preseason games, but also Ryan Suckup does as well, wouldn't surprise me if a situation like that did come up. We've seen backup kickers get traded in the past to desperate teams who have needed kickers before. Could be a possibility. Point being, the kicking battle has been crazy so far up to this point for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These guys have not been missing in these training camps. You imagine Borregales is going to be getting a lot of opportunities in this first preseason game. Let's see how he does. Another thing I want to mention here is, folks, football's back, man. That's just awesome. That's exciting. It was a very long offseason, especially towards the end there. June and July, there was nothing going on regarding this team, except towards the end of July, whenever a couple of signings were made. You know, they brought in Akeem Hicks and Julio Jones. But aside from that, man, it was a pretty, not dreary month and a half, but a pretty boring month and a half. Just not a lot of news was happening. We're finally back with football, folks. That means there's going to be so much stinking content to cover here on the channel, and I love this kind of stuff, man. This is the fun part of the year for me, so I'm pumped up to cover this team yet again for another year and just watch this team compete. I know you guys are as well. I know a lot of people don't care too much about the preseason. They say, oh, the games don't matter, but my motto is, man, you never know who is going to make an impact, and that continues in these preseason games, folks. You never know who is going to make an impact. One of these guys could break away in this preseason game and really begin to establish a niche role for themselves that could possibly grow into something great in the future. You never know what's going to happen, man. That's why I always love watching these preseason games. I love watching the backups play because you never know what's going to happen, folks. You never know what guy is going to make an impact later on in their time in, one season and a couple of seasons, whatever it may be. So I love watching backups play, undrafted guys play. I always think it is a great time indeed. So, yeah, folks, with that being said, that's pretty much all I've got to cover in terms of this preseason Week 1 matchup. I'm very pumped up to watch this game, to react to this game here on the channel. I'm sure you guys are as well. Really excited for a lot of the younger guys, both on offense and on defense. Really excited for some of these position battles, what the heck is going to go on in those situations. It's all really exciting stuff, folks. It really is. I know that some people, again, they're kind of, none of this stuff matters, man. And I know some people are still, kind of bummed, or maybe not bummed, but annoyed about the, potentially Tom Brady situation thing. I don't think it's a big deal at all. But, folks, let's just enjoy this for what it is. And what it is football returning to the Tampa Bay area, which is always an exciting thing to see, folks. I'm pumped up about it, and I hope you guys are as well. But, folks, that's it for me for this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about all the storylines that I talked about down in the comment section below. I would love to hear them. By the way, again, I'm going to remind you one more time before I go ahead and sign off here. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be going live here on the channel with my reactions live stream for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers preseason week 1 matchup versus the Miami Dolphins. It's, a preseason for me as well, folks. We're going to be getting back into the swing of going live for like 3+ hours. Last time we did it was during the draft, and oh boy, I am pumped up to get back in there and, kind of cover some more football play-by-play, things along those lines, and I hope you guys are as well. But anyway, folks, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream, folks. But until then, and as always, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.